All right. So what do we got going on?
What's up, man? Welcome to the show. Welcome to Nosebleeds to Floor Seats. We come here, we like to just talk about anything, man. See how your first experiences were. My name's Nate. Uh, what's your name by chance? Andreas? Am I
Yep,
pronouncing that correctly?
exactly. Andres. Yep,
Andreas. Oh,
exactly.
man. So, what's up, man? How have you been?
Pretty good. Hanging in there, working a lot. Hoping to see the Magic pull off anything right now. They're on a
Yeah,
little win streak, seeing if they can get it together.
yeah, man. Yeah. So, are you from here originally, from Florida, or?
I actually am. Yeah, born and raised in Orlando, Florida. So just thought it was a great city. Now I got two kids. They were both born here. And we got a third one on the way, and we love the city of Orlando.
Nice, man.
Um,
Congratulations.
appreciate it. It's just a great city. Everyone's, so nice. Everyone goes out their way to help out. I'm a realtor in the area, and I mean that just shows how much I love the area around here.
Oh,
Everyone's friendly. It's just an awesome place to live.
oh, man, that's really cool. Yeah, I've lived here. Was born and raised here myself. I currently I'm married and got a daughter myself too. So another kid
Congrats.
life.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So what were you, what was your earliest memory, or what was your very first game that you could actually recall, and how long have you been a Magic fan?
um, First game I can recall. It was always a memory of going to the games to the old TD Waterhouse with my dad.
Yeah, man.
Um, we used to go to a lot of those games. When I was super small, when I was a very little kid, my dad had season tickets when Shaq was here, and he shared it with some
Oh,
friends.
nice, nice.
So, it's always been, a thing to go to these games as a family, spend quality time. I would say, but before that, I was more a fan of the NBA. I think I
Yeah,
became
yeah.
a Magic fan recently within the past 3 to 4 years. Leave, but they still got a lot, in that trade for them, so it worked out for them. So they got bright
Yeah,
future.
yeah.
But I
We're
always
still.
love going to the games. It's always a lot of fun.
That's cool. Yeah, I've kind of started. I've been here for, like I said, I was born here, so I've been a Magic fan all my life.
I'm
You know,
sorry, you're
you've been
breaking
through
up
the
there.
whole. Yeah, I know, I know. You were kind of breaking up as well, a little bit.
Let me see here.
Um, There we go. Come
Oh
back.
crap!
There we
I
go.
don't know what happened there, but
It happens. It'll happen from time to time.
that's it. Okay.
So that's all good. Yeah, I've been a Magic fan forever. Um, I was here through the Dwight, when we had Dwight. We picked him up first in 2004, and
Hmm.
then even after, when we were rebuilding with him, it seems like I love the team. Don't get me wrong. It's just I feel like sometimes we have a little bit of an issue to where we can't keep star players happy. Um, yeah,
Absolutely, absolutely. And it's not only keeping star players happy, but I think it's a lot of I would say the Magic do pick up some great players, but they just happen to
we
go to other teams and play a lot better. You know.
yeah. It seems like they. I hate to say this. I love the team, but I feel like it's more of a. It's kind of like a G League team sometimes, to where we get them prepared and they get really, really good during the rookie season, their second year, and then we ship them off. It's happened countless times.
Absolutely. It's like a farm team, you just groom them, get them good, and then they leave somewhere else. But they've gone
Yeah.
through, I mean, a lot of great players, but
Mhm.
they've had the right ideas, just didn't work out a lot of times.
Mm.
I'm not sure if you recall when they had McGrady and they had Grant Hill. It was the right idea to bring in Grant
Yeah.
Hill.
Yeah.
Just didn't work out. And they almost had Tim Duncan at that point. I mean, that would have
Yeah.
been
That's the wild point. That's wild to think that we could have had Tim Duncan at one point.
Tim Duncan, Grant Hill, and Trace McGrady at that time, that was before
Yes,
all these stacked all-star teams and all that. That would have been incredible, especially in, I wouldn't say a small market, but in an Orlando Magic team compared to these big cities like New York and all those, Miami. That's a
mm.
big thing.
It's funny you say that too because I remember the finals team that we had. It seemed like when we went to the finals in 2009, that team was great. It's just the key pieces were kind of hard to keep in that sense. I think we shipped
Courtney Lee.
Courtney Lee that
Yep.
next year, and then Rashad was playing on a huge, huge contract. Which, oh,
Yeah, but at the same time, it was the right move for Rashard to give him all that money because if not, we were never going to go to that next level. And I think he was
that is
one of the
true.
key pieces
That's
they
true.
needed at that point. And unfortunately, the Magic, I don't think they're a top tier team that you want to go to in the off season that you want to sign with, not yet at least.
Yeah,
So you got to throw an extra bone or two, to get these players to sign.
that's true.
You also got to understand they pulled him away from, I believe it was the Supersonics at that time.
Yeah, yeah, because it was the Supersonics because he was with Ray Allen.
Exactly. And Ray Allen had left to go to Boston.
Yeah, he was with Milwaukee. He was Supersonics Milwaukee, and I think Boston afterwards.
Correct. Boston at the end with what do you call them? Garnett and Paul Pierce. Exactly.
Yes, the original Big Three. Yeah,
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, I mean the Magic, I think they remind me a little bit of the Pistons team from '04. There wasn't
yes,
too many
Chauncey
all
Billups, and
stars. Yeah,
yeah,
but they were all solid players. Hito Turkoglu,
yeah,
he played very solid. Rashard played solid. Jameer even was playing good for a while.
yeah.
Just
And
didn't work out.
Rafer was a good backup for Jameer as well when he was coming off the bench.
Absolutely. He did a great job. He led the team towards the end right there. I
Yeah,
really think to this point they should have never benched Ray Alston for Jameer in the finals. But,
yeah.
I think it kind of messed up the chemistry flow a little bit, but it is what it is at this point.
Yeah. I'm actually kind of excited about the young core that we have now with Cole Anthony, and it's just we got to stay healthy and get everybody on the floor.
Absolutely. I think Cole Anthony, I mean, he gives a lot of heart and hustle. That's something I love personally. I
Yes,
do think
yes.
he plays a little out of control sometimes. I don't know if he gets a little excited. I don't know if it's the lack of experience. But I think he'll be good. I don't know how good he will be, but
Mm,
he should be very solid. I don't know how they'll work out the guard position between him and Markel. They're both
mm.
incredible guards. So I don't know if they're gonna try to move one to two, which I find kind of hard because I think they both need the ball in their hands. But or
Yeah,
they're gonna pick one, trade one. I don't know. There's a lot for them to consider. I think, the guard position is pretty stacked, and so is the forward position.
honestly, yeah. I feel like the we've always had the forward position on lock. It's more of the guards that I feel like we were lacking after a while with the after we lost like Jameer and everybody, and we shipped off DJ to Houston. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, so I just hope
I,
Cole has that kind of like tenacity that his dad had when he played. Because I
it's
watched his
just
dad, like old
incredible.
clips of his dad's
Yeah.
play.
I mean, it's really incredible. I just don't know. It's hard. You got Markel. He's a great point guard. He's improved so much, and I still think he has potential,
Oh
given the
yeah,
minutes and staying injury free. You got Cole Anthony. You also got to think about, I think, Gary Harris. He's a solid option, very
yeah.
solid. You got R.J. Hampton. He's not the best, but he definitely can give you something consistent.
Mhm.
I also like Michael Carter Williams off the bench. I think he was great whenever he's healthy. But
Yeah,
that's another question mark if he's healthy, how much longer he can play for, things of that nature. But they got a few other guards that I think can play great, given the minutes.
that's true. I'm actually excited about Jalen Suggs and to see what Franz comes into as a player as well. Franz he's been a lot. He's been surprising me. Franz has been surprising me. His brother, it seems like he kind of helped, like elevate his brother's play in a sense too, because Mo was okay, but when he saw like he started playing with his brother, I feel like he just his game improved so much more.
Yeah, completely. Suggs, I think Suggs started very slow, I would say.
Hmm.
He got hurt, and then it seemed like he did better after the injury. I'm not sure if he kind of got a feel for watching the game, seeing what he could improve on, what everyone else was doing.
Yeah,
I thought that was pretty interesting. And then he started playing a little bit better. I'm not sure if it's the confidence that he gained after that. But I don't know why he reminds me a little bit of Dwayne Wade, when he cuts to the hoop, little 1-2
yeah.
dribble. He's very aggressive. I like it. So he should be pretty good too, given he stays consistent, stays healthy.
How do you feel about Mo? Because I know the trade deadline's coming up soon. You think we're gonna ship Mo or?
I don't think they will. Do I want to see him be traded? Not necessarily, but I do think it's the right move. Um, Again, that's another position they're just stacked at. Wendell Carter, I think he's done,
Mhm.
I mean, just great, tremendous. Nobody expected him to play that good. And I really think, he proved a lot of people wrong. If he can stay healthy there, I just don't see enough reason. I still believe a lot in Chuma. I think Chuma has a long way to improve, but I think he can improve.
Mhm.
Between him and Isaac, I mean, it's just incredible that forwards position. That's pretty stacked. I'm not sure if you remember, right before Isaac got hurt, I believe he was number 2 in the league in blocks,
Yeah, yeah, because he was one of those that can multi position defender in that sense.
and that's pretty strong, especially coming out of Orlando Magic.
Yeah.
So, but again, the question mark is, can he stay healthy? That's, can you depend on him?
So you also mentioned as well you're a Bucks fan, and Tom Brady had just recently retired. What are your thoughts on that? Were you a Bucks fan before Brady or during the Brady era?
Oh no, it was just respect his greatness. It was just a great time to go out there, watch those games. It was just something different. They haven't been winning, obviously, so just to get out there, the Magic haven't been winning either. So just trying to be in the winning
Yeah,
environment a
yeah,
little bit, enjoy that
yeah,
time.
yeah. It's nice. It's nice to
You
actually be on the
know,
winning side.
absolutely, and it's so different because even the city itself changes. Like I'm not sure you remember when the Magic were in the finals here, the city
Oh
was
my
just
God, it
on
was
fire. It
insane.
was incredible. It felt so good. You could go out and eat, and everyone was talking about the Magic. You saw the team outside on the streets everywhere. All the signs, the fans, and it was just an incredible feeling.
Mm.
And you saw that even in Orlando when Tampa was playing. I thought that was pretty cool too. I will tell you, I didn't think Brady would go out like that. I did think he would give it one more year after losing like that, but guess not.
Yeah, yeah, I thought so too, but I think he started to realize like, oh, is everybody going to be back and there's everybody going to be healthy? You know what I mean? If I could do this one more year, I thought he just saw the bigger picture, which I, I hate to admit this, but I'm not a Tampa fan or like a Dolphins fan. I would do watch the football, but I'm a Ravens
Mm.
fan. So to see them go out on their shield, I'm like, I understand. You know what I mean?
Kevin, I mean, he had an incredible career. You're talking, I believe it was 22 years
Hmm.
to hold up 22 years in the NFL. If you look it up, I believe the average NFL player spans about 6 to 7 years of a career.
Yeah,
So just to
yeah,
think he lasted that long with all the hits on the body, even being a quarterback that he's not supposed to get his hit as much or whatnot, not like a running back, but I mean, he lasted. And you got to give him respect for taking care of his body and just
yeah,
being there every
yeah.
day, in and out. That's incredible. Again, I would have liked to see one more year. Kind of sad to see him go out like that on a
Mm.
loss and all that, but also your body takes a toll on that. That's not easy.
Yeah, it would have been. I hate to say it, but he did have a great career. I never liked him when he played in New England, and I was one of those people who are like, Tom Brady. But I'm like, you know, you can't really go against his stats and what he did for what he did as a career. And able to actually just come out and take Tampa to the Super Bowl in Tampa Bay. Like he didn't even call his shot, and that was the wild part too. I think they started out with a really rough record too, if I'm not mistaken. They started out pretty rough, and then you know during the pandemic, they didn't really have that off season to gel as a team, so they just had to go on the fly.
Right. And not only that, but I think if you remember that team had a lot of different egos. Obviously, the biggest one you can say
Yes.
is Antonio Brown, but even Mike Evans, to a certain extent, even Drunk. You're pulling these players, that are not used to being on the whole Brady effect and all that. Just everyone's gonna work together, and they made it
Mhm.
work. They tried towards the end of this year, and it just wasn't enough. I also think Brady realized it's just every few years you see another generation sometimes
Yeah,
of
yeah.
athletes, and right now that generation is just incredible. You got Mahomes out there right now. I mean, the kid's incredible. Even Aaron Rodgers is out there. There's so many great quarterbacks right now. Even though I mean, a lot of them just retired in the past few years. It's incredible. But we got the same thing going on
Mm.
in the NBA. LeBron's going downhill, you could say, but you still got Luca, Trey Young. I mean, these guys are
Oh,
incredible. Like,
the crop is insane. That's coming in the NBA right now. It's mind blowing. I mean, like I said, yeah, like you're saying, Luca, Trey, um, John Morant. Oh my God, he is one to watch. I
he's
know we play
incredible. The
them.
way he attacks the rim, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, they're coming. I think Saturday. I think we play them. If I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken, we play them Saturday
correct. Saturday,
tomorrow. Actually,
tomorrow, and then Sunday is Boston. And Boston's another, they have great players, but they haven't been able to put it together, with Tatum, Smart, all those
Brown.
great
Yeah,
players. Yeah, Brown's incredible. Brown is so underrated, truly.
he really is. I don't think he gets the credit he deserves. To be honest with you, another person I feel like doesn't really get a lot of credit, and they're doing a lot. He gets criticized a lot about it too, but Joel Embiid, like he's been playing ball. Like,
I think he's in that top three MVP candidate. Correct me if I'm wrong, or top two. But
yeah,
he's playing incredible. He really is, and I like his confidence. He's not afraid to
mm,
talk a little bit, and it shows you he believes in himself, which I think is awesome. He's. I will tell you, he has stepped up with the Ben Simmons situation.
hmm,
Whether he's going to get traded or not, I really don't know. I mean, it would make sense just to get him out of there as soon as possible. But Philadelphia seems like they're really holding on, trying to get James Harden from Brooklyn, and they're willing to wait till the off season. So I don't know what fiasco they're going to wait on over there.
I'm just curious to know what the value is going to be because I know Ben. They're looking at Ben, and they want a lot for Ben, and I think they're going to want a lot from Brooklyn in that sense.
Yeah, they're asking a lot for Ben. I do think Ben is a great player, though.
Yeah,
If
yeah,
if he
without
can
a
learn
doubt.
to shoot, obviously he can get a lot better. But I think he can fit on a lot of teams. I know when it first started, Golden State was one of the rumored teams that were interested in him, kind of like a Draymond Green type player, which
Yeah,
made sense to a certain extent. And you also don't need a shoot. You don't need him to shoot when you got five other shooters. Great shooters on that team.
yeah.
Golden State has some
It's
young
funny.
rookies that are just incredible.
Yeah, because it's funny to say like even when I think Steph or Clay was out when they were waiting for Clay to come back on the state, Gary Payton the second. He was making very good use of his minutes from when he had them too. He was just stepping up and going beyond expectations for that team.
Absolutely, and he's been bouncing around the league. It's been a few years. I remember seeing him in the D League, G League, everything. A few teams,
Yeah, he
and a
was
lot
in
of picked him up.
Portland, and yeah,
And I think was it San Antonio also for a little bit, I believe. But I know he
I,
bounced around.
yeah, I want to say that was correct.
He bounced around for a little bit, and I really think Golden State seems to be that positive system. They bring
Hmm.
players up, and they do a great job. They put their egos to the side. I can't believe they still have that team together. Truly, I thought one of them would leave already. I really thought Klay Thompson or Draymond Green. Truly, not Kevin Durant. I didn't expect him to leave Golden State the way he did.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like once Durant got over that hump of the championships,
Hmm.
he's like, okay, I really don't need to prove anything else anymore. And I want to try to just, do this somewhere else, you know? Um, Phoenix is another team that surprises me a lot. The Suns and how they play. They just become a well-oiled machine, and I feel like they've learned from their mistakes from last year, being in the finals for sure.
Absolutely. I will tell you, I don't think they had too many mistakes. I just think it's the lack of experience. But Chris Paul's
Yeah,
done incredible with that team. Booker's done incredible. And correct me if I'm wrong. How many is it just Booker in the All-Star weekend this
I
year,
th-
I believe?
yeah he got. I think he's on a reserve or he may be a starter, but
I,
somebody got
I
snubbed
believe
on
he
that
was a
team.
reserved. Yeah,
Yeah,
a few of them. I believe he's just a reserve, which I mean, the guy's playing incredible. And I remember I think it was what was that he put up a few years ago? 70 points, 71 points.
yeah,
That
he
was
put up
crazy
70,
too.
70 points, and he's still young. That is the wild part to think about. He's
Yeah.
still in his early mid 20s, and he's put up 70.
He's done incredible. There's no telling what that team can do. I think if they get a few more of the right pieces,
Mm,
um, I do think it's pretty interesting that they didn't give the extension to
Aiton,
DeAndre Ayton.
yeah,
Yeah, they didn't think he was. It looks like they didn't think he was worth the max money, which I truly do think he is. So I don't know if they're going to pull off some type of trade for him at the end of the year or whatnot, but I do think he was worth that. I think they made a
he,
mistake there.
yeah, that would be a little odd to see them if they ship him off. I know they got JaVale from, I think he came from Denver after being with the Lakers. JaVale McGee
Hmm.
came over, and then um, yeah, that was that. They brought over JaVale for like a backup, but I don't understand. He's been proving it nonstop, and they have the best record in the league. Not just because of Chris Paul. You know what I mean? It's a whole whole
But
unit
that
there.
whole
You know what I mean?
unit, exactly, the
Yeah,
whole team's playing great. That's incredible. And they got a lot of young players there, for the next few years. Um, I just think they're incredible, truly. And it always seems Phoenix might fall back for a few years, but they're always up and gunning to the young guys. They always got a young roster coming
yeah.
out. It's
It's
incredible.
weird. It seems like it. I hate to say it, but it's like the West always have the sleeper teams when it comes to like in the standings. Like I remember one year Denver was a top seed, and then it was Utah. It's like Denver, Utah, Phoenix, Memphis. Memphis is slowly catching up, and then OKC. OKC was one of those. Was like wow, one of those teams you really can't sleep on. You know?
Well, right, absolutely. Now, I do think there was a bigger difference before. If I remember correctly, about a year or two, maybe 2 years ago, if you won 40 games in the West, you still missed the playoffs, which I think is
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah,
But in the East, that's like number two seed, maybe number one, possibly depending on the year, and I think that's just crazy. I think when the Magic made the finals, I think they had one, was it 49, 50 wins that year?
we had
And they
yeah
were
50 wins.
and it's like they were on top, But if you take that to the West Coast, that's Golden State was a few years ago. What was their record? 72-10, was it, or
Yeah,
something
they
like
they
that?
they beat the Bulls record that one year. And
Exactly.
the wild part about it is they had the best record and they posted the best record overall in the NBA, and then they went to those finals with the Cavs.
And they lost 3-1. Yeah,
Hmm.
I was watching a documentary the other day on YouTube about that. The way LeBron just, I mean, he handled everything. That's incredible. The way putting up 41 points. I think he did it back to back. If not, was it back to back or
And
three games in a row? He did it.
I think he did it either 3 games or he had a 40-point game, and I think Kyrie had the other 40-point game the following game. I think that's what it was.
I mean, that was incredible. Right? Kyrie's a great player too. If he can get his head straight. I think sometimes he goes a little
Yeah,
off the
I feel like
wall, but
that's his biggest problem is his ego and wanting to be, oh, this is my team, my team, my team. And I'm like, if you were smart, you would have stuck with LeBron. I'm not saying you're riding the coattails because you're just as talented as him, but at the same time, it's just like I don't know.
he's just so incredible. Though I mean, he can really score whenever he wants,
Yeah,
and that's
yeah. Don't
scoring
get me wrong.
inside, outside, however he wants. He's going to score on you. I mean, he's so quick, you know. But I really thought he would do great in Boston. Truly, I thought,
Hmm.
that was gonna be a big upgrade for Boston, and they never got over the hump, that playoff hump. They just couldn't get by.
Yeah, it's like he got injured, and then a lot of the weight fell on Jason Tatum. I think Jaylen Brown was still out with the injuries, and then
And Gordon Hayward was hurt too.
yep. Oh yeah, because he had that nasty injury. He broke his leg.
Exactly. Yep.
That was nasty.
Yeah. Reminds me of who's that college player? Was it Kevin Ware, I believe?
Oh, I think so. I'm trying to think back
Yeah.
to it, but I remember. I remember Paul George had that happen to him too.
Now, I will tell you, Paul George, actually, I didn't think he would come back as good as he is or
Yeah,
was. I don't think he's a great player. I think, he's a solid star player, but,
yeah,
he's been hanging in there with the Clippers so far. I didn't think he'll hang around this long. I will tell you that, though.
yeah. I didn't think he was going to go to the Clippers originally. Same with Kawhi. I thought Kawhi was going to go to the Lakers. To be honest, Westbrook kind of surprised me too. Incredible, incredible player. Mr. Triple Double himself. But it's just my personal opinion. I feel he's just not that great of a point guard. To be honest, he plays when he wants to play. Like great.
I think he's a great player. I just don't think he wants to win bad enough, truly. I think
Yeah,
he's more worried about his
yeah,
stats. Great player, but he just wants those triple doubles at that time. That's what he wanted in OKC. And I think now he's trying to win, and it's too late. He's not as fast anymore. He loses control, and it's hard to play with, with so many other egos on that Lakers team with LeBron. You still got Carmelo there. Dwight Howard. That's hard. That's really hard.
Mhm. So I wanted to ask, your dad. You said your dad was a season ticket holder, and then you became one in that sense. When did you become one? And
Absolutely, yeah. So he was a season ticket holder. I want to say it's like around 93 to 95 or 94, 96, somewhere in that ballpark. And then that was just for that one year. And then about 3 or 4 years ago, it was actually when the Magic were playing Toronto for the playoffs. I think it was like game three that they had finally started here in Orlando.
Mm,
Some odd reason, I don't know why. I looked into the tickets for season tickets for the following year, and I was able to get a discount if I bought the playoff tickets. So I
nice.
just kind of made an impulse purchase to get the discount on the playoff tickets, and just happen to be season ticket holders now. I always recommend everyone. I think it's a great experience.
Yeah,
Something different to do. You kind of hang out. I usually go with my dad now. Sometimes I'll bring my wife here and there. Obviously, she doesn't get as excited about watching basketball and whatnot, but
yeah. My wife too.
still
She's
bring
the
her
same
around.
way. It's a
Yeah, still bring them around though, something different. But it's something fun to enjoy as a family and whatnot. And you get to see, all these different athletes. It's incredible to see LeBron. I've seen so many great players. Wade. I will tell you, I never saw Kobe though. Kobe or Iverson. I always wanted to see Allen Iverson.
I see. I've seen Melo play when he was with the New York Knicks.
Okay.
I never really saw Kobe. Um, I'm trying to think who else I've seen. I've seen Kawhi when he played with Toronto, um, and when he also played with San Antonio. Seen a couple Tim Duncan games when he was still playing, and yeah, seen all of Dwight's career here and Turkaloo and JJ when we had JJ Redick. Yeah, and
Now let me ask
Gortat.
you, since you brought back Turkoglu, do you think Turkoglu was a great player, or was he just in the right system here, or was the team not good enough, and that's why he shined here, or what happened exactly?
Honestly, because I remember he had a career. He started in Sacramento. I never
Hmm.
really saw him play in Sacramento, but when he got here, I think it's something we needed. We needed that kind of like. Sometimes he started, sometimes he didn't. He came off the bench, but he
Hmm.
was that key. He was that spark. He was that igniter that we needed. Kind of like how Fournier was with us for a while. I
Hmm.
felt like that's what Turkoglu was in the beginning, and I love Turkoglu. Turkoglu's the man. He can do no wrong in my book whatsoever.
And then I'm not sure if you remember, after Orlando, he signed a big contract, huge contract with Toronto. He went there for, was it half season or a year, and then
Mm-hmm.
they
Mm-hmm.
traded him back here. But he still wasn't the same after that. It was still a little odd seeing him. He wasn't making the right shots anymore. Things
Yeah,
changed.
yeah, you could tell that spark was gone once he left Orlando originally. Um, Another person who kind of felt that way, and it was kind of cool to see him grow into his own. It sucks that we kind of let him go to Chicago, but Vooch, when we had Vooch, man.
I don't know about that. I feel we got a lot out of him already. Um, yeah, that was a tough thing, but you got to admit, usually when a star player needs to be traded or wants to be traded, just like we were talking about Ben Simmons, usually don't
Yeah,
get too much in trade value. So the fact that like Vucevic turned out pretty good. It took a
yeah, yeah. I mean, honestly, mm, if we could have, I think it was getting to the point where could have like built around Vooch and we tried. I really knew Aaron Gordon was starting to get just a little bit bent out of shape with his spot and his just minutes here, so I could see why we let him go. And I don't care what nobody says, that man got robbed twice for the dunk contest. That's just my opinion.
absolutely.
He got robbed twice. There's no way you go and do those dunks and not get the trophy. He got robbed twice.
So let me
But
ask you: do you think Cole Anthony can win this during All Star Weekend?
I have yet to see him do dunks like that in
That's
game or
why
just
I
in
was a
high
little
school.
surprised. I was a
Yeah, I
little
was
surprised
like,
that he got invited.
yeah. But well, big shouts out to them. To be honest, that's kind of cool how him, Franz, and Jalen all got invited to the Rising Stars game or something.
Yep, all
So
three of them
that's pretty cool.
exactly.
Yeah,
That's the most we've had in a very long time. Like I can't even remember the last time we had three like that. Not even sure when that was because
yeah. I can't recall either.
I think
So
Howard and Nelson, but it was only those two.
yes, yes, because they were on that tear that one year. They were on the
Hmm.
tear. Let me ask you this: who was your favorite Magic player that you remember, like growing up as a kid, and then to now currently?
Um, the one I always remembered and that just like amazed me was probably Steve Francis.
I forgot we had the franchise. I completely forgot Steve Francis played for us.
Don't get me wrong, it was on the downside of his career and it wasn't the same,
Yeah,
but I thought it was incredible, the dunks he was doing, and he was just incredible. And I remember him, and actually, I remember seeing a lot of McGrady play. McGrady
oh
was
yeah.
just,
I saw the end of McGrady when he was with Orlando. I saw like a lot of those games. Um, I was really, really young seeing Shaq play here, but yeah, I never really saw Shaq or Penny or like Nick Anderson. It's wild to see them out and about here in Orlando because I've run into Nick Anderson a couple times and Bo Outlaw. I've seen
mhm.
them a couple times out in public, so that's kind of cool. But I wasn't around to see them or like Horace when he was playing for us and Horace Grant. Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, it's awesome, to see them so involved in the community. You see them all the time. Usually, I think almost any event, really, the Magic, you'll see Bo Outlaw or Nick hanging out there, even
yeah,
before the games, after the games. They're answering questions. So I think that's pretty awesome that they're so involved in the community.
really cool. Did you watch the 30 for 30 on ESPN with Shaq and Penny?
I saw most of it, not all, but I saw most of it.
Yeah,
I thought it was pretty interesting. It's just what could have been.
yeah, yeah,
There's so many questions because you also got to think. What if Penny? Not that he was injury prone, but if he didn't have the injuries he did, how does that shake up everything?
Yeah.
If Shaq wasn't chasing the money also in the LA lights and all that, I think that's another thing. Could they put their egos to the side? I don't know, but you also got to realize Jordan was, I mean, just killing it at that time. Would it even matter?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, but if you think no, wait. When they played Houston in the finals, Jordan wasn't
Hmm.
in the league. Yeah, Jordan wasn't in the league then. That's why they were able to get out of the West. I mean, that's why they were able to get out of the East. I'm sorry, that's my fault.
And I
That's why they
believe
were
that
able to
was
get out the
the
East.
the year was it the year before when Nick stole the ball from Jordan?
Yes, yes,
So that takes a lot too. I mean, just great players, and that shows you. And there were some strong teams still, even in the East at that time.
yeah. That's crazy to think. So I have another question for you. What do you think of the city uniforms, and what was your favorite fit that they had, or if they've created for the Magic?
I mean, I think everyone's favorite is the obvious answer, which is the one that Shaq wore with the pinstripes. I think
The
everyone
black
loved.
and white
Yeah,
pinstripes. Yes, I love those.
I think that's everyone's favorite. I can't believe they haven't brought them back exactly like that. I thought they would have by now. Every other team seems to be bringing back, great jersey and whatnot.
Yeah, retro
Um,
jerseys.
I'll tell you, the jerseys are pretty interesting. I believe, what are the orange ones? Are they City Knights? Is that what they're called
Yeah, the
now?
city night ones.
City Night ones are pretty interesting. They have the regular orange ones, and then they have the city ones with the words coming down. If you notice,
Oh, I haven't.
which is
I've seen the black and orange ones. I've seen those, but I haven't seen the actual city ones.
okay. So the ones that came out this year, they're pretty interesting. It's kind of like a grayish, and then they have little print coming down on the stripes, and it has words. I think it says, "This is
Hmm.
why we play," or something to that nature. Why not us, or
Interesting.
something.
That's interesting.
There's a lot of creativity out there. I think the orange kind of threw me off South Voice that everyone black, you know. So
Yeah.
it's a little bit different. But I think I'm starting to like it. Going on a little, but that pinstripe black was always the best, I think.
Yeah, yeah, I feel you there. Um, I remember when who was it? Daryl Armstrong when he played for us, and McGrady was still playing for us. I think because I liked they were the dark and they had the stars on them.
Yeah, it
And the
was like a
old
dark
ones. I
royal
like those.
blue.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. I love that one. That one was for between the black and white pinstripes and then those are my favorite ones, to be honest.
So which one was the worst one you think?
Hmm. The worst one?
Yeah.
Trying to think. I I get it. The Galaxy one, I just not my cup of tea, to be honest. I
Oh,
mean, I got when I took my wife to her first game. I got her a custom jersey and I got her the Galaxy one because I'm like, oh, okay, you like stars, looking up at the sky. So I did that for her. But me personally, I'm just like, I don't really like that one too much.
I think it was it 2012 that they wore those regular, like the blue ones, but it was like that shiny blue,
Oh, I'm trying to think. I'm
or
trying to
was
think.
it 2010?
I think it
I
was
mean, those
2012. You're thinking right. You're
those were
correct. I think.
ugly. Those were so ugly. It looked like like a silk material. Oh God, I could not stand them. They
But
just look so
wait,
cheap.
didn't wasn't it who took over the jerseys? Was it Adidas or was it Nike who was taking over for the
Right now, Nike has it, but
yeah,
Adidas
I
did
think it was
have that
Adidas. That's what it
license.
was.
Yeah.
Could have been
So
Adidas.
knowing Nike, they're always coming out with a whole bunch of different stuff. They're always out there. Um, so we'll see what other jerseys they come out with. But I believe there was a few more coming out this year. I'm not sure if you've seen the All-Star Weekend jerseys. They're a little bit different too. A little bit. They're more Nike. They're out there.
Is All Star Weekends in Cleveland?
Yeah, Cleveland.
Hmm, interesting. Interesting. I haven't seen the jerseys yet. I gotta check them out.
check them out. It's something pretty interesting. And if I remember correctly, this year they're doing a little bit different. Where if you're voted in to play for All Star Weekend, you
Hmm.
actually get a ring. Imagine that.
Oh, that's a little kind of like jab right there for us, but yeah. I mean, it's kind of heartbreaking. We've been there twice and had those opportunities. I think the one that kind of still haunts me the most is the Courtney Lee when he had the layup. He missed the layup. Uh,
Yeah, I really thought Courtney Lee was going to be a great player too. I think
yeah.
if he would have stayed here in Orlando, I think he had a better chance.
Mhm.
Um, but I mean, I don't know. To me personally, every time I look over that play, I feel like that was a foul. I believe it was on Pau Gasol, but they didn't
Yeah,
call
it should
it at
have
that
been. It
time.
should have been. You're right.
So, it's not his fault. If he got fouled, I could say to a certain extent, it is what it is.
Yeah.
I believe right now he's on the Mavericks staff. Don't quote me, but I was doing some staff work somewhere in the
I
NBA
think yeah.
right now.
It's. I think you may be correct. It may be Dallas. Dallas.
Yeah.
Trying to think now. Trying to think. What are the best seats that you have, or that you have had since being a season ticket holder? In that sense, have you ever been courtside to any games?
Um, I was offered actually courtside not too long ago, but I don't remember why. I think I had something to do or I couldn't make it, so I had to pass up on
Mm.
those.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
but I've had the opportunity. I've had a lot of friends and people I've networked with that have great seats, and I just kind of sneak in with them.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, and I will tell you, some of my favorites. I had a friend that had suites at one point, and it was just
Oh, yeah.
incredible. The
Suites are
suites with all the
amazing.
food and everything. I mean, that's incredible. Now if you look at the pricing, I mean, it's also incredible. And I also think
Yeah, they're
it's
steep.
expensive. Honestly, for a team that's not winning, it's
I wish
it's a
they would
lot of
see
money.
that. I wish they would see that, but I understand it's a business. Unfortunately, the
It is a
association,
business,
and it is a
and
business.
it's the biggest thing in Orlando. Also, um,
Yeah,
it,
it is.
it is
Besides
what it
Disney
is.
World and the theme parks, yes.
Exactly. If you want sports, that's probably the biggest thing that you can go to. That's competitive per se.
But that, and then I know I've seen it lately. I've personally never been to any Orlando City soccer games, but I see like people in frenzies going over to those, like those Orlando City games, and they get a little rough.
Yeah, I think I've been to a few games. I think they're great to go out, have great time,
Mm.
but to go to every game, it's not the same. But I do know they actually just switched management or ownership, I should say.
Oh,
If I
Orlando
remember
City?
correctly, it's the family that owns, yeah, it's the family that owns Vikings, land, women's soccer, I believe, also.
That's
So
cool.
they're making some major roster moves. I do know that they're investing a lot of money into that. So hopefully it does work out for them.
That's wow, I didn't know that. That's good. That's kind of interesting to know. Do you own any merch? Are you willing to say how much you've actually spent on merch when it comes to teams, or no?
Oh yeah. So that's kind of funny. I go through phases, unfortunately, of I want to buy all these jerseys, and then I go through 6 months of no, I don't want to buy any jerseys.
Yeah. Yes,
Um,
I
so it
understand.
goes up and down. It goes up and down. I will tell you, the past 6 months, I have been buying jerseys.
Hmm.
I'm probably within the past 6 months, I don't know, about 8 to 10 jerseys roughly.
Wow.
Um, I think every jersey right now is about $80, $90, more or less, obviously.
Yeah, roughly.
Now I do think it's awesome. There's certain nights, and I believe I got an email notification that tomorrow is one of those nights versus Memphis. That if you buy one
Mhm.
jersey, you get another one for free. Obviously, it's certain
Oh,
jerseys,
nice.
but I think that's pretty cool because so I mean, my dad will buy a jersey, and it turns out to be like
Mm.
$45 a piece, really.
That's not
So
bad compared to what you usually pay for them.
Exactly, so you just gotta kind of hope that the player doesn't get traded soon, at this point.
Unfortunately, I've had that. I've got Dwight's jersey. I've got Aaron Gordon's jersey.
Gordon.
I'm fingers crossed. I've got a Jonathan Isaac jersey, and I'm hoping like not that he just stays with us, so I don't end up like okay, I got to retire another jersey. I've got a multitude of hats. Like, just my wife's getting so mad at me. She's like, "You need to stop buying all these hats. You're not wearing them all." I'm like, "You don't understand. For when game time comes, you need to have a mat. You
I
need to
hear the
have a
same
hat to
thing.
go with the jersey." So,
Absolutely, I hear the same thing. Don't worry. And I think the Magic actually, they're pretty aggressive with their sales, I would say. Usually for
mm.
most games, they have like a $12 shirt and like a $12 hat for that series, and I think it's pretty interesting, that they have those.
Yeah, the last game I went to when we played Chicago, um, they had a sale going on with the shirt and then the hat. The one thing I'm really clamoring for, and I've yet to really actually get my hands on, it's just taking time and money to get to it, is the I don't know if it's the windbreaker jacket with the stars and stripes, and they have like the 50th anniversary logo with the years on the side. It's a jacket. It's like a pin. It's an old warm up jacket that they
I've
have.
seen that one.
I've been trying to.
Absolutely,
Yes. Oh my god. I ran
absolutely.
into a girl there to the last time I went, not the Chicago game, the game before when they played. Actually, it was I saw them play Chicago twice. I asked her. I was like, so I kind of asked her. I was just curious. I'm like, so how much did you actually pay for this jacket? She's like, you really want to know? I'm like, yeah. She's like, oh, I spent close to 220, 230 on it. I'm like, what?
Yeah, yeah. If you go to the team store, they have them. But you just got to stick through it. Sometimes they run some specials, not much, but
Mm.
sometimes I do remember. I want to say at the start of the year, actually, they had. I almost bought it too. For some reason, I didn't. I don't remember what it was. That for the reason I didn't buy it, but it was a Penny Hardaway jersey, but the baseball jersey type, and it was on
Oh,
sale for like
yes,
50%
yes,
off. And
yes.
it was only like $50. And I thought about it, but I don't know if I bought another jersey or
Mm.
something happened. I didn't buy it, and I kind of regret it every time I look at it. I'm like, damn, I should have bought it there. Damn. But it'll
It's
come
funny
around.
too because like I have the black and white pinstripe. I've got the Shaquille O'Neal jersey, and then my dad, who I happened to just be talking to my dad. He's like, "Hey, come to my house. I got something for you." Turns out he had an old, like just straight jet black Penny Hardaway jersey and won champion. They had the champion logo on the
Yeah,
jersey, so he gave that
yeah,
to me, and I was just like, "Wow, champion actually had the jerseys at one time."
yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, "That's insane."
Exactly. Yeah, Champions had them, and then I'm not sure if it jumped to Adidas right after that, or there was one more brand, and then just now Nike finally took over.
That's insane. What do you think about the logos on the jerseys? Do you think like we're kind of behind the times with that, or like because I know the WNBA's they have a bunch of logos on theirs, and we just have that small patch on ours now.
I like it. I like it because, like you said, WNBA, and you'll see the same thing in boxing on the
Mm-hmm.
shorts. I think just too many, it's too messy usually. It just doesn't look as nice. I like, I believe it's one patch, maybe two patches at the very most.
Mm-hmm.
So I like it. I also think it's pretty cool that it's the Disney logo because it just
Oh
looks
yeah,
nice with the
that
team.
basically goes hand in hand. You know, Orlando and Walt Disney World go hand in hand. They have to.
Exactly. But there's some pretty interesting ones. I believe last year the Lakers had Wish, and now it's someone else. I don't remember who it is
Yeah,
this
it's
year.
like BB Go or something like that this year. They had Wish last year.
Hmm.
Um, Same thing with the Bucks. I don't know if the Bucks still have the Harley Davidson logo on theirs. They had it last year. I don't know if they still have it.
I don't remember that. I believe Phoenix still had PayPal, I believe.
Yeah, Phoenix still has PayPal. I saw that. Denver had like Western Union on theirs, I believe,
Yeah,
last year. They had Western
yeah, it's
Union.
it's
Um,
pretty interesting. And I mean it's the same thing that goes with all these arenas now. Look at what used to be American Airlines Arena in Miami. It's now FTX or FT
yes,
Arena.
yes. I don't know when that happened. I'm like, wait a minute. When did this arena change? Like
Absolutely.
that was that
Just like that.
one. The Lakers, the Staples Center is now the Cryptocurrency Center. Um,
What is it? Cryptocurrency.com, I believe.
or crypto.com or something like that. I
Crypto.
was just like, wow. That's
Yeah,
that's a far fetch from thinking
yeah,
he has an arena name. But I was a big fan of the TD Waterhouse when we had it, and when I saw it implode when they put the building down, I was just like, ah,
yeah. And I was reading today actually, um, right across from the Amway, they're
mhm.
gonna build like a community center, so they're gonna have courts for the kids, all that
That's
stuff.
really really cool, man.
And then
That's
if
really
you go
cool.
diagonal a little bit more, they're going to actually build a new practice facility just for the players and workout facility just for that. So I think that's
That's
pretty
crazy because
awesome.
I think about it. They used to have practices at the RDV
Yeah,
back in the
that's what we
day.
were talking about earlier today. Yeah. Back then it was RDV and the players would drive to TD Waterhouse
Yep,
to play the games.
yep, I
And
remember
now
that.
they practice in the actual Amway. I'm not sure if you've seen downstairs, but they have the actual court where the fans go to watch the game
I've
and
seen
two
some of the
practice
courts. Yeah, if you
courts.
look through the
Hmm.
bottom half going through the arena, yeah, and the front entrance, yes.
Exactly. So they have two practice courts, full size, and then two half courts also that they can work out on and shoot around and everything. So that's pretty awesome. So they're going to be adding, I believe, two more on the other side.
Wow, God, I can't believe they're expanding that much. That's insane.
It's insane, and they're not winning. Imagine if they were actually winning, how
Oh
much
man,
more.
yeah, we'd be getting so much more money being put into the building and everything else. What do you think about the veteranship of Terrence Ross? Because I feel like he's the last one on the team before we've let everybody go.
Um, I think he has a good attitude.
Mm.
But he reminds me a lot of J.R. Smith. Not the attitude wise, but just if he makes one shot, he'll give you the next 10 shots in a row. He'll make them. But if he misses one, the next 10 are
Yeah,
gone. It's either
yeah,
hot or cold. There's no in between. Take it or leave it, you know?
yeah. I will say this: he's very consistent. I love him to death. He's a cool guy. You know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong, his attitude is laid back, and he's always getting caught in the funniest ways, and with his faces and everything else. But when Jalen Suggs had the dunk on DeRozan, his face was priceless.
Absolutely. And, he shows a good attitude for his teammates. He always wants to see them achieve, greatness
Yeah,
and whatnot. But I do think, unfortunately, they will trade him. But I think it's best for him. He can actually go to a winner. I know the Lakers were one of the teams interested, and I was reading about some other teams interested, Cleveland possibly.
mm.
So I think he'll be a better fit somewhere else. Even maybe Golden State off the bench. I think he'll be great, but his contract's a little heavy from what.
Yeah. It's funny you mentioned that too because I was reading online too. I think the Knicks are interested in De'Aaron Fox. So I don't know how much truth that is, but I was reading up on it. I was like, I could probably see that, but then again, you also have Derrick Rose. Kemba is being
He's been shopped around.
wishy washy. He's been shopped around way too much, and I think it would be a better fit for De'Aaron. Being out of Sacramento because I feel like I hate to say this, but Sacramento's kind of like us, but in the West, just one of those bottom feeder teams.
I don't know because they seem to get good players sometimes. Like I mean, their
They
forward. What is it?
do.
Bagley. I think Bagley's pretty good on the right team.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, they they had some good players. I think first few years Willie Cauley Stein was good center. Not
He
great, but
was. He was. He
good
was just
center.
growing. He was growing into becoming who he was.
Exactly. Now I believe their GM Vladdy. I mean, I don't know. I thought Vladdy did a great effort putting that team together. It just didn't work out. But I know he's no longer with them. But he did a great job putting them together. I think.
Hmm.
I believe Buddy Hield also came out of that same draft from Vladdy, part of his work, and I think he's pretty solid guard also.
Yeah, it's kind of wild because I know, like, I'm not one of those Lakers fans, and I'm not a Laker fan by no means necessary. Uh, I mean, I get it. I understand the Lakers, but some people are kind of like, oh, we should have got Buddy Hield instead of Westbrook in that sense. I mean, I think it would have worked out a little bit better.
I don't know. That's always something that they go back and forth about. I also, I mean, maybe, but they would have struggled at the point guard position so much. I also think,
Yeah, yeah.
Now I did see the Lakers were winning. I think they had won 5 in a row, 6 in a row when LeBron was playing center, I believe.
Yeah, I think they were on a 5-game win streak.
5 games,
They
and I
just
believe
lost,
one
I
of those
think,
games was
yesterday
here
or
in
the day before to
Orlando.
the Clippers. Oh yeah, they killed us.
That was a great game. The Clippers game and the Lakers.
Yes, that was a great game.
Yeah, and Reggie Jackson, he's another one. He's playing great right now too. He's showing, what he can. That Clippers team with Kawhi hurt, Paul George hurt, they're all stepping up and they're doing pretty good.
Yeah, it's been amazing. It's been an amazing team for them anyway. So, do you have any more questions for me, or would you like to get anything out there, business wise, or anything
Um,
out there, socials?
I think that's pretty much it. If you guys ever want to follow me, my Instagram's Andres underscore Santa Cruz underscore 95. You can always message me. I'm always happy to talk about things. Even real estate, real estate always help there. I do everything in Orlando, near the airport, everything. So always happy to assist. Any questions, feel free to contact me. You can even DM me for my phone number. Always happy to assist. Did you have any other questions for me?
No, man. Thank you. I know it was a little bit of back and forth, but that's cat and mouse hot tag, but we got it done tonight. I appreciate it very much, man.
Absolutely not a problem. You let me know of anything else. And whenever you want to go to a Magic game, let me know. I'll be happy to give you tickets for one of these games, so that way you
Thank
and
you,
your
man.
wife can
That'd be
enjoy
cool.
it.
All
Not
right,
a
man. I
problem. You let me
appreciate
know
you very
whenever.
much, man.
You take care.
Thanks,
Have a
man.
good one.
You too, man.